Here is a Mafia 3 gameplay breakdown. Hey everybody, my name is Martin and welcome to 2K Central. This is a Mafia 3 gameplay breakdown. Long overdue, but here it is. So I'm going to go over everything I possibly can in the current gameplay available to us. I will be pausing the video whenever I notice something interesting, and I will go into detail when I feel like I have something to say. I don't know why I said it like that. Alright, so we can immediately start by talking about the HUD. It's all been updated and streamlined, which I'm a fan of. Some people may think it's a little too much like GTA, but I personally like it. Everything's much clearer. We've got our health bar above the minimap. It shows how much money we have on the left, etc. Now, the most noticeable thing in this screenshot is obviously the police officer harassing this African American couple. We clearly don't know the context for this altercation, but we're pretty sure the police officer's reasons for approaching this man aren't really justified. So this scene alone gives you an example of the racial tension that we'll be experiencing throughout this game. It also shows that random events like this will take place throughout Hangar 13's fictional version of New Orleans. With each random event, it gives us a choice that may have consequences, because Lincoln clearly has a choice in this situation. He can intervene or he can walk away, which he does in this gameplay. Another thing that is noticeable, the number of AI walking on the street. It's an improvement from the previous game, so it's nice to see that the city feels more alive and lived in. Here we can see a promotional sign for a jazz club. The music in this game is going to be phenomenal, which is one thing that can't be forgotten about. We can also see 2 cars that will be available to us in Mafia 3, a police cruiser, which was obviously going to have a role in the game considering we play as a criminal, but it's nice to see that these vehicles still have that blue outline in the minimap. We have a video in which we talk about the confirmed cars in Mafia 3, that'll be in the description. This icon here is the cistern, or perhaps another territory that can be captured. These won't pop up in your map unless you discover their locations yourself, or you can interrogate specific gang members to give you the locations. Now, Lincoln is walking towards a rival gang member who is posted on a random location. He's either guarding this small building or this alleyway in general. Now, the interesting thing is, whenever the enemy notices Lincoln, a little search icon or magnifying glass pops up above his head, which indicates he notices something suspicious and he's going to enter search mode. Illuminati confirmed. And as you can see, the icon has changed to like a red bolt of lightning, which means he's going to attack you or at the very least approach you. These icons will for sure help if you want to take a stealth approach from time to time, as it indicates if enemies are aware of your presence or not. Alright, so this is a left-handed uppercut for those who are unaware. A vicious maneuver, I'm sorry. Now, as we can see on the minimap, there's a phone notification. These can be used in the game to call up your lieutenants. You may request support, either a specific weapon, call in henchmen to deal with a specific mission, or you can even call Burke to remove your current wanted level. So once you enter combat, it brings up the rest of your inventory. It shows the amount of ammo you have for your equipped weapon, the number of grenades you have, how many first aid kits you have from the looks of it. So perhaps based on the difficulty you choose, there may not be a health regeneration option if you decide to go with one of the harder difficulties. And here you can see one of the many weapons available to us in Mafia 3, a Baker 390, which is a pump action shotgun. Lincoln also seems to have what looks like a Desert Eagle in his inventory, and we also have a ridiculous amount of melee takedowns available to us. Extremely brutal, but once again it suits the time and our main protagonist. Some people may think this is overly violent and unnecessary, but Lincoln Clay is angry at the world and just lost his family, so he's looking to take it out on just about anyone he can find. The other thing I really like about this shot is this building is randomly open. You can clearly enter it, which I love in video games. I think it's something that I'd like to see much more of. Every building should be available to enter. It makes the world feel more real and interactive. That's right, guys, boobies confirmed. Sorry, I'm so immature. Now, this is the focal point of the cistern. For those who don't know, it's a jazz club in the city. This is originally occupied by a rival gang, which can be taken in multiple ways, stealthily, by force, or you can even threaten the owner. If you have the relevant information, we then have the ability to place one of our lieutenants on this location. The cistern offers a specific ability, which will be unique based on which lieutenant you choose to place on. He or she will then run the club on your behalf. Another interesting thing to add is the minimap. You can clearly see there's multiple ways to enter the cistern. I just thought that was worth noting. Okay, so this is something new to the Mafia series. Previously you couldn't vault over any obstacles. The most we could do was use obstacles as cover, so it's a nice addition, but we would have been, I guess, a little shocked if it wasn't added. Also, X on the Xbox One or square on the PS4 is to reload. Oh, the classic. Alright, so this girl right here may be the dumbest NPC I've ever seen. She clearly doesn't know where the exit is, despite the fact that 30 other people just ran towards it. Look at me pointing out the negatives. Now, the cover shooting has been improved significantly, which is awesome to see. It seems more responsive. Also to note the outfit, this gang member is wearing a white shirt, white tie and fedora. It's the same outfit as the fella Lincoln brutally murdered a few seconds ago with that knife. So they're obviously from the same mob who are posted in a certain area of the city. It's interesting that they're all dressed in the same clothes. Perhaps there's a variety of different mobs we'll have to deal with and each have their own unique outfit and weapons. So we the player can distinguish between each group. Alright, so this is called the Charge Takedown. Now this is something that is completely new to the Mafia series also. It can only be used on enemies who are unaware of your presence, so this isn't always available. If you're losing a gunfight you can't just panic and charge at them. Oh, I wish, but I like this option. It offers much more variety for us to play and we can approach each combat scenario differently. Plus, what a badass way to start combat. Am I right? Sorry. Now this icon here on the minimap, it looks like a syringe. I assume this is a symbol for a drug den or an enemy territory. That right there is another gun option we have in Mafia 3, the M419, which is a semi-automatic pistol. It's pretty badass. Plus, this fedora seems to be glued to this dead man's head. My goodness. Now this is a little worrying for me personally, not Lincoln's accuracy, which is non-existent in this clip, but the camera zooms in on Lincoln whenever he's aiming a weapon, which is something similar to Mafia 2. I know Hangar 13 are possibly trying to make the combat feel more cinematic by using this camera angle, but I personally find it a little annoying to manage. It hampers my accuracy. Personally, if the camera was pulled back a little, I'd be perfectly happy. It's nothing major, but something worth noting. Here's our main protagonist triggering the interrogation option. And you can see a message icon on the minimap here. The most obvious conclusion for this is it's a collectible, perhaps a letter giving more information about the city or a specific area. That or it's a mission. And you can see in the red, drive dangerously so you scare the informant into giving up useful information. Alright, so here is another message icon. I'm almost certain that that icon represents the collectibles in the game. Also, there's a little triangle symbol here. I'm unsure what that represents. It's possibly a store. That would be my best guess. Another important thing to note is the front mirror on the top of our screen. I like this addition. We're not forced to click in the analog stick to see behind us anymore. I'd like to see this maybe added to more games in the future. Now this icon here, I'm really unsure what this represents. It could represent another gang's territory or a group of enemies that are positioned in a certain area. But I'm unsure about that symbol, being honest, as it pops up a little later. On the top left you can see the title for what has to be the name of the mission Lincoln is currently doing, Operation Pale Horse, which perhaps is everything we see Lincoln currently doing: take over a territory, gain a source of income, and send a message to the rival boss. Alright, so I noticed this little book icon right here. I really hope this is a Playboy magazine, the classic Mafia collectible. If it's not a Playboy magazine, it's a mission or perhaps a bookstore, but I hope it's the Playboy magazine. Hey, I'm not perverted, okay? Okay, so Lincoln has successfully scared this guy into giving up useful information. The interesting thing is we're then given a choice to either kill this guy or we can spare him. Killing him is perhaps the safest option because you can't trust a snitch, and sparing him may have consequences later in the game, as he could possibly show up to hurt your feelings. But I love that we've been given more choices and consequences. It's what I love. Now notice the reticle. For everyone who's seen the gameplay, this isn't used to you, but they've added the option to fire a weapon while you're driving a car, which is completely new to the Mafia series. Previously we could only drive while Joe fired at Thompson from the passenger seat. Oh, good times. So expect a lot of high-speed chases in this game. So here is the name of one of the rival bosses, Uncle Lou. So Lincoln has taken over the cistern and removed a large source of Uncle Lou's income and control of the city. So he's triggered a retaliation event. So Uncle Lou has put a contract out on Lincoln, which is kind of like a bounty or a hit. Now this is just a little odd to me. The front mirror has a clear view of the car that's about to go soaring through the air, despite the fact that Lincoln's car is still behind their vehicle. Obviously this is being used to give us a better view of what's happening behind us, like a car exploding, etc. But it might get a little repetitive after some time, plus it's a little cheesy. But as am I, so I like it. Now this right here seems to be everyone's biggest complaint about the game thus far, and I agree completely. This isn't Burnout. You know, cars shouldn't explode that easily. I know Hangar 13 has said they wanted to give us more of a Hollywood feel by having moments like this, but it's not really what the Mafia audience want. We get you're trying to add new fun elements to the game, but it for sure needs to be toned down a little. Okay, a lot. And these two icons have to be Lincoln's safe house options in the city. And now we see what the Mafia development team have been calling the the car torpedo. It looks cool, but once again it does come across a little too wacky for the Mafia series, but that could be just me. Alright, so we have come to the conclusion of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Mafia 3 will be released in 2016 on Xbox One, PS4 and PC. Stay tuned for more Mafia related content here on 2K Central. Alright, take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.
I think absolutely splendid.
Walking down the street and you hear that heavy beat, can't help but walk.